a show by Lauderdale, Jones, Scott, and Smith. Winston, Leak, you better act right. Don't drive slow and be wild at night. 'Cause you need to know that if you do, that Scotty Ray is watching you. He's everywhere, he's everywhere. That man is faster than a scalded cat. If you do something dumb, then you better run with haste. Scotty Ray's at a wreck before it ever takes place.
And good morning. I'm your friend. Of course, it's Dustin. He's going to be joining us here in a moment there.
Be right
Scotty
here.
Ray, Odie here as we begin this, what day?
This is hump day. We finally made it. Yeah. I don't know why we finally made it, because it feels like we just had hump day last week.
Right. I thought it was Friday. I'll be honest. When I got up this morning, I sat down in here and I thought, where's Julia, that girl? Then I realized we were only on Wednesday. I was a little confused.
She's still on PTO.
One thing that we want, and to my knowledge, Odie, we haven't had any trouble.
Oh, look at there.
I'm going to need to do this. As we get this morning, fog is out, and I want to make sure everybody understands that this tree is down on Old Highway 80. As we look at this, and it's daylight now, the Meridian Fire Department was coming to help out with this. The city road crew was coming to help out with this.
That's a big tree.
It is.
And it had some lines in it. Of course, we talked about that yesterday. Anytime you've got lines in it, you just don't go to cutting. You want to make sure 100% that any line that's going through that tree is not energized.
Yeah, that's a mess there, and it is. I was double checking to make sure that it hadn't been, the roadway was cleared, and it hasn't been. So if you cut that way to work, slow down a little bit. This is going to be near North Lakeland Drive, is where that is on Old Highway 80. So a mess it is. Yeah. You know, we saw the other night when we had a couple trees in the road where cars were hitting the trees, and there'd be another car hit that car. It can happen in fog easily, and we got bunches of it.
Yeah, we do.
Let me go ahead and pull this back up and show everybody just the fog that we have here in Lauderdale County still. And it's really, really thick on this western side here, southern all the way through Clarke County, as we'll look at this and show our locations, as all the way over to the Veterans Cemetery. And you're going to get all the way to Lawrence here where it's really thick. Now, it's still fog over here in Forest, but it gets thicker as you go through Newton and you get about to the Veterans Cemetery, all along where the Red Goat is, and you make it into Lauderdale County. Back over to about where Sam's is going to be extremely thick. And it's still heavy, but lighter as you head from there toward southeast and toward the Bama line. All the way down to Jay's Taxidermy in Clarke County. Thick fog this morning.
Yeah, be careful while you're out there. Leave a little early. We always tell you that. But because of the saturation of the ground, just like on Highway 80, it doesn't mean that there's not another tree down somewhere that we hadn't spotted yet. So be careful.
I can't go on anymore without bringing this back up, because I'm shocked as we see this. They've been pardoned.
So I want to go back and relook at this, because what I'm remembering, and I'm just going by remembering, I don't know if this is 100% fact, but they went and borrowed like
sounds right
$3 million, and then kind of filed bankruptcy, kept the money, moved, bought the house,
didn't pay it back,
didn't pay anything back, got money from the network to live on with this money,
and he was living the high life. If you'll remember, everything was the best, so Chrisley knows best.
Oh yeah. Now let's go back. Did she know everything? I know wives know most everything, but did he keep some of it from her? We don't know.
Odie, it was obvious, because I could see it on TV what was going on. And then she finds out that he did have an affair with his business partner. I mean, I saw it a country mile. It's like, there's something strange about this.
So you didn't need those?
I didn't need that. I picked up on it.
I was just wondering.
Now, I'm not sure his wife did. She was getting Rolls Royces or whatever, and I guess you sometimes can't see past the hood emblem if you got what you want.
Well, and then you turn around, and if he's telling her, look, we've made this, we sold this, he's got her bugged, she's blinded by the money that he's spending on it. Did she know 100%? I don't know. So, let's look at that. Yeah. He knew. Should he get out? No. I'm
again it, as they used to say, as we put it in a little layman's term there.
Yeah.
Erica's going to keep her opinions to herself. And I get that.
Anybody else would be under the jail, and he's getting a free ride. Nope. Mm-mm.
Now, I agree.
Three hots in a cot.
There are times that I think people get put in jail that it was. This ain't one of them. I mean, I'd almost rather see Joe the Exotic get out before this. If you're gonna let them out, Joe needs to get out.
Yeah.
I mean, his husband has been shipped to a foreign prison. You can't remember.
I don't know.
It was love. Right behind bars, my jailmate thing. You know, I would not be a very good person for pardons. I mean, you'd have to have served time. I feel like you have been. I don't think he's rehabilitated.
Well, now a pardon isn't really for if you've been rehabilitated.
Well, you're getting out of jail. But
a pardon is something was not done right. You were not treated fairly. You were done something. Now remember, a pardon wipes it away.
That's correct.
This never happened. Now you want to get out on a jail on a parole? Okay, let's look at something along that lines. But this guy's fixing to be told, don't worry, you've never done this. There's no record. And he did it.
Uh-huh.
I just, no. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Mm.
And then that leads to that next discussion of this big, beautiful bill, which makes, even Elon is saying everything that I have done is being overturned by this big, beautiful bill, which we don't know that it's even going to pass. It ain't going the way it's set up now. But you can't come in and start making all these cuts and say, I'm here to save money, and then ask for, I'm going out on a limb to try to remember how many trillions it was, but it's a bunch. I'll say it that way.
4.7 we're being told.
Yeah, and it could
possibly, Now, I do. If you wanna help waitresses out, no tax on tips, up to an amount. Same with some overtime. If you want to help out on some overtime, if you really look at a lot of things, that's a lot of money. A lot of overtime is spent. There's a lot of businesses that do 12 hours a day and you work 5-6 days a week. That's tax dollars that we're losing. Where are we going to get that made up from? But also in the bill, that's retroactive back to January. So you go back to January 1st, and when your taxes come out for 2025, you get to claim your overtime and all that stuff starting in January.
Oh, I have to ask this. Did you at one time work in one of those cubicles at Walmart?
No, not yet.
Do the taxes?
Not yet.
You know, the little tax guy that sits up there.
Yeah, I don't use them either. But so that goes back to January. So where are you going to try and save some money at? Okay, if you want free Medicaid and you want free insurance paid by the taxpayers, you've got to work and pay some taxes in. That doesn't start till 2027.
But my question is, what are we doing with these extra trillions that he's asking for? I understand the military needs a little help. Don't get me wrong, but this is trillions. And it ain't got anything to do with the $25 little Sally made Saturday night down at the Burger King where she got an extra tip. Man, this is. I would rather focus on the Congress people that show up that have $45,000 to their name, and then 10 years later they're billionaires, or not billionaires, but they're millionaires. Y'all know what I mean?
You're talking about the one who couldn't even rent a place in
Washington.
Washington.
Money. She was asking for money. Yeah, now she's a millionaire.
8 years later, she's got $100-something million off of a $200,000 salary.
We need some somebody got some explaining.
Oh, you mean the one who made $1 million off of selling some stock the day before it failed because of some insider trader. That's the kind of stuff that we need to investigate.
All I can say is poor Martha. Poor Martha was just trying to dump some stocks and got busted. She went to jail, y'all.
They made a scapegoat.
She didn't get pardoned.
She did.
Yeah, she didn't get it. She served her time.
But look at her. She was rehabilitated and now hangs out with Snoop Dogg.
Well, Snoop Dogg brought her into the smoke. I mean, the light. And,
it was the smoke. Good morning. It's already 10 minutes after the hour. Coming up, we'll find out from Dustin Hill what's going to happen. The election is less than a week now.
Yep.
We're headed to the polls. We'll find out if you are.
Throughout this campaign, I've been out in the community, knocking on doors, speaking directly with you about the issues that matter most. I've been present, engaged, and working hard because that's exactly how I'll lead if elected. I'm Dustin Hill, and I'm asking for your vote on June 3rd for Ward 5 City Council. I believe our city deserves someone who shows a high level of leadership, experience, and dedication, and that's the kind of representative I will be because you deserve nothing less. Elect proven leadership on June 3rd. Elect Dustin Hill.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
Advanced Auto Glass by Joey can handle all your windshield repair and replacement needs. Service work is guaranteed and covered by warranty. Our technicians are professional, auto glass trained, and have over 100 years of combined experience. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey utilizes in-house calibrations for vehicle safety systems. Most insurances are accepted, and reliable mobile service is available in surrounding areas. Keep cars cool and secure with custom tinting, side mirror replacement, and AquaPal windshield wipers. There's one clear choice in auto glass repair. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Hi folks, Paul Brown with Dixie Buildings. We're here to take care of all your building needs for your personal and your business needs. That includes portable buildings, carports, sheds. Don't forget your hunting camps are coming in. You can start out with our 8x10s. If we cannot haul it, we can build it for you on site. We have 2 locations, one on Highway 19 South and our home office just around the corner on Long Creek Road. Just give us a call at 601-483-4943.
Good morning. It's already 7:13 if you're on a time clock. And we got an update, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Highway 80 still blocked with the tree. The fog is bad. Slow down. Already had people that run through the barricades where they're trying to stop people. Got lights, got everything out there, and they still run through it. So be careful. And a couple of people, Kayla, I'm with you 100%. I mean, you're 90-something years old. I think you've paid your fair share of taxes. I hope. Now, well, we're going to get into a whole nother subject. I'm not going to dive off in there. There's some yays and nays to all that. Anything you do for free, somebody else has got to pay for. So you've got to take. You've got to balance everything out. But you put in your time, and yeah, when you reach a certain age, most of your time paying taxes should stop.
Do we still have that sign up in Lauderdale County that says retirement center?
I don't think so.
They had to take it down because it raised everybody's taxes and they couldn't afford to live here. That's what it was. I knew there was a reason. Last night we all gathered down at the Max. What a big scene it was. And it was a very good debate. I have to say, Odie and I were talking this morning. It was very well put together. It went out without a hitch. And I happened to see you sitting up there.
Yeah, I was up there in one of the hot seats. Anyway, yeah, Odie and I were talking about the same thing before I jumped on here. The NAACP runs a great event.
Yes.
They had us all on before the primary, and it was the best one that we went to speak at, and this one even topped that one. So, yeah, well organized. Yeah, D. Houston does a great job.
Well, I tell you, when that timer went off, it was time to stop, and somebody else spoke.
Yeah, there's a lot of times at debate, you'll see this, and people just get not there, buddy. Yeah. That's your time, and it was handled very professionally. Not at all did anything ever get out of hand.
It was, and I thought the questions were really good.
Yes,
there was nothing weighted towards particular candidates, or they're very good about staying bipartisan, and I thought it overall went well, and the attendance was good. That's what I like. And I think you had a lot of views, which is good.
I had a couple of calls that I had to go to. We went to a little fire on the interstate, then went to another one out into a house fire, so I couldn't quite make it out there. But I joined the over 33,000 people who watched it live on Scotty Ray.
That was a lot of people.
That was a lot of people who paid attention to politics. Now, if we can get everybody to go vote.
If you were to do the arithmetic, that's a tad more than are actually that lives within the city. Because it's what 32,000 lives in the city.
Right.
A lot of people in the county, we pay attention. I live in the county. We pay attention because it's where I work, and I spend majority of my money in the city. I spend most of my time in the city, so we're part of it. We make the city go, so we want to sit there and see what's going on.
So, what was your takeaways from last night? Do you feel like the questions that were asked you, did you answer them? Is there anything that you'd like to expand upon that was asked of you last night?
Yeah, I think when you go to something like that, you always walk away thinking, no, there was those one or two things that I could have said a little bit better, or I forgot to hit on this, or I did well on that part. So you're always critiquing yourself. But overall, I felt like, I got my message across of what I wanted to convey to the people that were there and watching online. And one thing that I've been telling people going around door to door, there's no one magic answer, and there's no one person or one candidate that's going to solve a lot of our city's issues. But you have to be willing to get in there, work hard, communicate, be transparent, and that's really what we all want. We want someone that doesn't want to sit in there just to have the title of being mayor or city council. We want someone that'll roll their sleeves up and get to work. So that's what I've been telling people. It's the reason I want the position is because I believe I have something to offer our city from a leadership standpoint and be a small part of that solution, and I know how to communicate and work with people.
Now, on top of all this, and for those of you who are watching going, who is Dustin Hill? Why does that name sound familiar? Well, you're a business owner. You know how to budget money, and that's one of the good things about a city council is having people that actually own something, that understand I've got to pay for this to be able to keep my doors open. Believe it or not, a city works the exact same way. You've got to have money to pay for things. It didn't just all give out. You've got to make it balance.
Yeah, exactly. Running a small business prepares you a lot for transitioning into a role like city council and city government, and not just running a small business, being involved with other organizations on board of directors and finance committees. That's where you learn to work with other people that may not have the same ideas as you, and that's going to be a big part of it. Whoever's on that council is,
you're right.
We've got to all get on the same page, and you've got to be able to agree to disagree when it's time. And that was a question I thought that was really good that got brought up, because we have gotten ourselves in a bind sometimes and had arguments between mayor and city council, and we just haven't gotten on the same page, and that's not going to get us very far if we can't clean that up. And maybe not here as recent, but a couple administrations ago it felt like there was a lot of tension at every council meeting, and we certainly do not need that. So I hope that if I'm elected, I can bring, I think Elliot Brewer says it all the time, I will always be the adult in the room. Well, we should all be the adult in the room. So I feel like communication, working with each other, and sometimes you got to have a little give and take, and that's fine. But you got to have enough conversations privately where you don't air your grievances out in front of everybody. That's not what they're electing us to do.
Was that a slam at Marconi? I feel like I should ask. We were just playing, Odie.
Just messing around. That's okay. So in the past, we've had some people that say, well, this is just a part-time job. I get paid part-time. I'm just doing this part-time. What are your thoughts on, yes, but are you going to be willing to come to the table 4 or 5 days a week for an hour or two to try and solve issues, or is this only going to be my job is 2 or 3 hours 1 day a week?
No, me personally, unfortunately, I have a hard time saying no. And if anything's worth doing, it's worth doing right. So it's no different than how I've conducted myself with this campaign. I've put an incredible amount of work in, and I'm not doing this to have some title or to be part of this council for any other reason than to make Meridian better.
Well, and I think what Odie is hinting at here, I've heard a council person in front of me, right before me, say, well, I don't get paid for that. Yeah. I only made $20,000 a year. I ain't coming up here listening to all that. That was said to me. And folks, if you're running for an office and you have that attitude, you need to resign now. Take your name off the ballot. That is my opinion.
Yeah, you can't have that attitude, especially when you're a public servant. I mean, that's what you signed up for. I mean,
And it's also good not to be arrested. I'm just throwing that out there. I've seen that too here in the past. If you got a little record,
steer clear of trouble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what we're signing up for. And look, you're going to get phone calls every day, I would imagine, not just days of meetings and work sessions. But that's a good thing. And I think if you approach it the right way, and your constituents, you have to have a conversation on the front end to manage expectations. You know, it's no different than what I do in my business. My agents need me all the time, but they respect my boundaries. They don't call me at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. They don't call me on Sunday morning when I'm with my family at church. So you can lay out expectations. You can tell someone, hey, I return all my calls within 24 hours, so they don't have to be called back immediately. But you do have to communicate and respond, because we live in a world right now, everybody wants instant answers, instant gratification. So you have to be responsive, and that's really all people want. You don't have to have all the answers, but you have to do everything you can to try and help solve their problems and point them in the right direction. And I feel like I can do that.
We got some more questions coming up with this. We got less than a week. You've got to make a decision. Maybe you've already got it in your head. But listen this morning. Keep an open mind. And as we get ready for this, make sure you're ready for this on next Tuesday is when it will happen. Now, as this was going on last night, I want to go here for just a moment, and then we'll take a I'm going to tease this, and we're going to set this up. While the debate was going on, and one of the big things was crime in Meridian. Little did the candidates know that were sitting up there was a shooting that was going on during this. We're going to tell you about that next, what happened, what we know next here at the Scotty Ray Report.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Heblon Heating and Air Conditioning to save the day. We can keep you comfortable with special savings for your home, like up to $3,000 off new HVAC systems or a tune-up for just $69. Keep the power on with a generator. Get $200 off installs and 0% financing for 60 months. We do it all at Heblon Heating and Air Conditioning and offer financing options for any repair or installation. Call for a free quote or visit us online at HeblonHeatingandCooling.com.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install, or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. And again, as an Otis here with his big Go Watch that you can't miss.
My Mr. T starter kit.
We, on a serious note, as I brought this up, as we were talking about crime and what needs to be done in Meridian, I would get a text while I was sitting there, there's just been a shooting. And then a few seconds later, I was told there's 2 people shot. My next text would come in and say, I think they were both children between the ages of 5, 6, or 7 years old. And then I got a text a little bit later that said a 3rd person has been shot. As we back up, and then as we always say, when things happen live, things get adjusted to the information that we get. It ended up being 2 people that were struck with gunfire. We don't believe anybody is life-threatening from it. One of them was a child. We don't know the exact age, but we're guesstimating age here. We hope to get a report on this later today. One was struck with a bullet. The other child that originally I said was struck was injured with glass or debris within the car. They were shot within a car, and then the other person that was in the other car was also struck. They were taken to local hospitals for care. This is the scene after, as soon as we left the debate, we ran out to the scene. This is Landmark Apartments, and an all too familiar scene right there. How many times have I stood there for a standoff in that exact spot? And that's where that went down a few years ago. Twice, same person, if you'll remember.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with this, but it's the same location.
So they're shooting at, they got a shootout between two cars?
It was two cars in the parking lot of here, inside Landmark Apartments. This is North Hill Street, up by Winn-Dixie is where this was. Now,
zero care for a life. You just put two kids, however, in the middle of it, and everybody else that lives at these apartments.
Correct.
You just put their life in there for some kind of disagreement that you had with another individual, and you go to just throwing rounds at each other in a car out. Man, what have we went to?
I believe both cars were impounded so the police could do a thorough search as to what went on with this. And, you know, as lead starts flying, it's got to go somewhere. You think, as Odie just said, there could have been someone walking through the parking lot. Just because there's a piece of glass doesn't stop that.
No.
It's still traveling. Fortunately, we're able to say that no one was seriously injured. Now, let me give you the statistics. Since January 1, Meridian, Mississippi, we have had 8 homicides. Since January 1st, we have had 29 people shot, 29 with lead in them. That's a lot of people. I want to say the year before we were in the 50s. It's been averaging anywhere from 51 to 60 a year getting shot. We're ahead of schedule. We are at 13 people in the month of May that have been struck. May is huge numbers for Meridian.
Yeah, that's terrible.
This ain't over. We still got a few days of this. Original information on this tells us that there was a disagreement between the two parties, and for whatever reason, who decided to fire a weapon at the other, we don't know. Hopefully, the police will release a little bit more information. Did see the chief out there last night.
Now, here's an idea. Let's go somewhere and build a nice bulletproof ring, and you stand back to back. If you got a beef with somebody and you're too scared to duke it out, then back to back, take 10 steps and see what each other does. But do it inside a protective case.
Can't do all that.
Well, you can't do that either. And they just put every piece of metal doesn't stop a bullet. It changes its direction to someone else.
What you see in the movies and these video games is not real life. No. Now, you remember watching the A-Team as they pulled in front of the car and it was just numerous shots fired and everybody walks away. That ain't what really happens in life.
No.
It's not like a video game where so many people...
And you don't hit reset and start over again.
So we've got issues. And again, this during a debate while this was all going on of how to stop this. And so we haven't got the answers yet on all of this.
I just...
we got entrapment. I just got a note. The 6600 block of North Hill Street, we've got a tree on a house with entrapment. Woo. All right. We got some more.
Colin's got the same thoughts I do. Wesley, you got the best thing. Turn to the Bible. The only thing that's going to save us from all this junk right here is the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. We talk about Him every day. That's the only thing that's going to stop this. It's the only thing that's going to change our lives. It's the only thing that's going to completely make a difference. Us as a public can do everything we can, but without the guidance of God, you'll never make a true difference.
Well, church does help there. That was a few of the things that went on there yesterday as we address that situation. We'll be right back. We got more coming up on all of this, and we'll tell you as we start getting information. We might also have a structure fire. I believe we do. This is going to be 44th Avenue and 3rd Street. A few things to handle real quickly is between commercials. We'll be right back.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Heblon Heating and Air Conditioning. To save the day, we can keep you comfortable with special savings for your home, like up to $3,000 off new HVAC systems or a tune-up for just $69. Keep the power on with a generator. Get $200 off installs and 0% financing for 60 months. We do it all at Heblon Heating and Air Conditioning and offer financing options for any repair or installation. Call for a free quote or visit us online at HeblonHeatingandCooling.com.
Collinsville.
Our police officers are overworked and underappreciated. When we don't support them, crime thrives. As mayor, I will increase officer pay, improve benefits, and recruit top talent to ensure we have a fully staffed, well-trained force protecting our community. Together, we'll invest in technology, partner with state and local agencies, and make Meridian a safer place.
On June 3rd, vote for Percy Bland, paid for by Percy for Mayor campaign.
Grass cutting season is here, and if you need a new lawnmower, drop in and visit our friends at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have size yard you have. Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Visit our friends at Freeman Tractor, Highway 494. American Portable Buildings not only has buildings, but they also have trailers. They're budget-friendly, zero down, no credit check. Come take advantage of these savings today. Take a look at all they have to offer. If it's a trailer you need, they have them from 12-foot to 16-foot to 18-foot, even car haulers. If you're tired of having to borrow a trailer every time you need one, see them today. Call 601-693-6200 or drop by for a visit at 4838 Old Homestead Road in Meridian. Rockhouse Gun and Pound, located at 5430 Highway 19 North, is ready for spring. From weed eaters to push and riding lawnmowers, and one of the largest selections you'll find in chainsaws, along with power tools and generators for backup power. Maybe you're in the market for a TV or maybe a guitar. And not to mention a large selection of diamond rings and Louis Vuitton purses. The Rockhouse Gun and Pawn even has a private lobby for your pawns for confidentiality. Visit them today, Highway 19 North, Rockhouse Gun and Pawn.
And welcome back. Scotty Ray's working on some stuff. We got some information coming up about the fire and the tree. Trying to get that started on this here Wednesday morning, hump day itself, here in wonderful Lauderdale County.
Let's see here. We'll go to the tree, and this is what we're looking at here. 6600 block of North Hills entrapment. Let's see here. I'm just about got the video. That may be all the same thing. I believe so.
All right. At once.
Yeah, I believe I could have made a boo-boo on that. I'll adjust that. Let's get this. I can't see, Odie, so I have to do it this way.
You are.
This is as live as it gets.
He said, "Don't worry about the capitalization. We'll go back and worry about it later." So.
We'll get that straightened out.
Yeah.
So I do believe those to be the same.
So we're working on that. But with us this morning, we've got Dustin Hill, who is running for Ward 5 as a city council member, and had a good debate last night and talked about it. But what we just got through talking about was crime and what that's done to our city. And how important is it for you in Ward 5 for crime and what you can do to make a difference in Meridian?
Yeah, so that has been the number one topic and issue that you hear probably across all wards, the entire city. And the number one thing I think people are looking for is strong leadership to be able to change the culture of our police department. Most people are not on board with the current system that we have in place, where a chief can't really be a chief because they have to consult someone else before they make a decision or talk to others. So I think we got to take a hard look at that, and I hope from a city council standpoint that we're able to educate ourselves and vet that whatever candidate, because both mayoral candidates have openly said they will be putting up a new police chief to be confirmed or approved by the city council. So that's probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest things the new council will have to look at very early on. And it's very important to get that done. So, and one thing I've learned throughout this campaign that I want to make sure I put out there this morning, since we have this opportunity to do so. A lot of people want to change in leadership, but that doesn't happen unless you get out and vote next Tuesday. I have always voted. I've never not voted, but I've never really paid attention to the voter turnout and the numbers and that sort of thing until I got involved in it personally. But we cannot let 30% of our registered voters determine our next leadership.
Yep.
So that's not going to get us the change that we all want, because we all want the same things.
It's less than that sometimes. The 30% is sometimes that's a high figure.
Yeah, and that's sad. We ought. I mean, there's no reason we shouldn't have at least half of our constituents voting on our leadership. I mean, that's not much to ask for. So, and I've learned a lot about the absentee early vote process. I've always known that if you're over 65, that you can go early, and I think in the back of my mind, I've always known that people off in college that are still registered in their hometown can do absentee and mail away, but I didn't realize until I got in this, if you had a job-related something that was going to take you away from voting day, or you had a pre-planned vacation with your family, especially now we're in summertime, school's out, City Hall has made it very easy. I've already had some constituents of Ward 5 tell me they've been down and voted, and it was incredibly easy. You just go to the first floor of City Hall, tell them you're there to absentee vote. You have to have a legitimate reason if you're not 65 or older, but it takes 5 minutes. So there's really, and that's been going on for the entire month of May, and you've got the rest of this week and Saturday from 8 to 12. So they make it incredibly easy, and it would be almost impossible for you to say you can't get a vote out.
No excuse.
Yeah, and it's your responsibility. So
I voted halfway across this world when I was in the Navy. It can be done.
Yeah.
I voted absentee. They mailed me a ballot. I filled it out. I mailed it back. I was all the way over in Europe, and I still made sure I voted.
Yeah, it's important.
And it's just that important.
This was asked last night about what you think is one of the major problems that Meridian has. How do you summarize that in? What's your top two things that you say that needs to be fixed immediately? Where would you go with that?
Well, I said that last night. You know, obviously we're all talking about public safety, and there's a lot that's going to have to be done in that category, and it's not going to be something that's changed overnight. But the other thing I'm hearing going door to door is they want Meridian to be cleaned up. I mean, the citizen, and not just dilapidated housing, but, overgrown lots.
Edge of the roads are atrocious in a lot of people.
And infrastructure needs, and I think a lot of pockets in the city feel like they've kind of been forgotten about. And if it's not a major thoroughfare, it hasn't gotten any attention, over maybe 30 or 40 years. So hopefully the new leadership that gets elected can put a plan together to address the needs of all the city in a systematic order, so we don't come up with a wastewater problem that's over $100 million because we didn't address something for years and years and years.
Now, and this was brought up during all that last night. It was brought up about Tuxedo, that area there. Now, I was there before the old church burned. Y'all just wouldn't believe the trash that's in the street. It has to start. The government can't do everything for you. No. It has to start with you. And that means the city, meaning you, the people that run it. The residents. You got to pick up what's in front of your house, mow your grass. Yeah. Let's do this as a community effort, and it'll catch on. I know we have a community cleanup day, but everybody's got to do their share to make this work.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and it's not the government's responsibility to teach people how to act. However, we have codes and enforcement officers in place for a reason, and so the police department may not be the only department that needs to be bulked up, and we have to look at every department. Ordinances and codes are only as good as they are. Yeah. They can be enforced. Yeah. And it's kind of the same thing with some of the young people that we talk about. It starts at home with the parents. The same thing in your community. It starts at home with you taking pride and respect for your own place to keep it clean, and so your neighbors don't have to look at it. But I think from a city standpoint, all we need to concentrate on is making sure we're enforcing what's already in place, because we have the things in place to make people do better. But if we're not executing that stuff, it's not really a whole lot of good.
I can remember as a kid driving down 8th Street. Boy, does that not look different now? It looks more like Chicago than it does Meridian. And what I mean by that is everything needs a little brushing up. Get an extra gallon of paint and try to fix your corner of the world. Let's do something about it. And again, that begins with the police department. One of the things for security, there's no doubt we need that. That gives confidence to a city to have a strong police force to where you know that crime is not going to continue. You got somebody you can call that's going to nip it in the bud, as Barney would come do. Yeah. And we need us a Barney bad.
Yeah, the silver lining out there is, you know, a lot of people don't realize this because it goes untalked about, but we do have good citizens in our community that are stepping up and are cleaning that lot next to them. They're not waiting around on somebody else, whether they own it or not. I've ran into a lot of that going door to door, and people they'll be real quick to tell you, well, that lot next to me, you see that? I can't. The city hadn't done anything about it in 10 years, so I just keep it clean myself because I don't want to look at it.
Yeah.
So those stories need to be put out there and talked about, and praise those people, because if other folks see that, that might encourage them to take some ownership and some pride in their stuff as well. So
Colton just made a very good statement here. Giuliani made a comment back in the 90s about New York. A city is either made or destroyed by one broken window at a time. And that, you know, that's...
And I've said that on here numerous times. It's a very small read, but it's very powerful, and it's called the broken windows theory. And it is huge, and that is exactly what happened. Go look at Charleston, South Carolina, and see where they went from slummish to well-developed right now. And it all started on the broken window theory. And it can be done here. It can be done anywhere. And it's self-improving when it's done right. But y'all go study up on that.
All right, as I was scrambling around there, as you saw, I wasn't very good at it, trying to figure out where we had a fire. And we do have a fire. Let's take a look at this. Let's look at the picture for you first of what we've got here, Odie. That's the fire department is on scene. This is going to be at 44th Avenue and 3rd Street. As we go here to pull up the video. Let me get the video where it'll play.
Yeah.
That is, as you can tell, a total loss. Now, I can't tell if that's an abandoned home or one that's lived in. We'll try to get some more information on that. But we've got no reports of loss of life or anything, which is great news dealing with this. But the Meridian Fire Department out early. Metro is on scene, as well as the Meridian Police Department. Did you want to add something to that?
No, you were saying that was down on where? 44th Avenue?
44th Avenue and 3rd Street is where that is.
Okay.
So that's what we've got. We'll be right back, as I'm going to hit the right button this time, Odie.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ooh, boy.
On a hot day chasing crime in Meridian, to make a man thirsty, there's no better way than an ice-cold Coca-Cola to quench your thirst.
Or an ice-cold Diet Coke if you prefer that flavor.
No matter where you're at, stop by a local store and support that store and Meridian Coca-Cola. They're supporting us every day.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Everything starts with a great grill, cookware, and accessories. Add in locally sourced meat and dairy, frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, and daybeds and have fun with our cornhole boards. From animal print coolers to authentic Louis Vuitton purses, we have what you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
At Pettit Jewelers in Philadelphia, Mississippi, trust Nicole with your priceless heirloom jewelry. With generations of refined expertise, she ensures your cherished pieces are meticulously cared for. Pettit Jewelers, Philadelphia.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Here we are.
Boy, that stuff happens quick there.
Yeah, it does.
We got a picture that was sent in. This was in Collinsville Beach yesterday. Y'all look at this. Is that not absolutely gorgeous?
Man.
Kind of captures a moment of what all this is about on this here world as we make it about. That's just gorgeous. Couldn't help but share that with everybody.
God and his paintbrush.
It is, and he's busy with it. Hey, this happened in Philadelphia yesterday. We didn't have a chance to talk about this. You can't buff that out either.
owl.
Yeah, right up from the roots.
Major tree. And again, as we do with this, we're going to have more trees like we've had here on Highway 80 this morning. That was on King Street in Philadelphia. We're going to have more rain. We're going to have more wind. These big trees will snap and fall on homes. So be careful. Be careful.
And I want to say this, and it's not that nobody wants to, but in some aspects, government is limited on what we can do to help people. It comes down to insurance. And I know this is beating a dead horse, but you've got to have insurance. If you own it, you've got to have homeowners. If you don't, you need to have renter's insurance. But you've got to have something that will protect you, because we don't always have a big enough damage, a large enough damage to justify state or federal disaster. The ultimate response is on the homeowner as a homeowner or the renter as a tenant. The homeowner, if you're renting, is not responsible for you and your stuff. He's only responsible for his home. But your renter's insurance is what will help you. But it all boils down to the responsibility of having insurance. And I know it's hard for some time.
Well, they can't even get it. How many people don't have it on a car and it's illegal to...
Yeah. But that's where, I mean, it's hard to get help. But there are some agencies that will help, and we'll try and get them connected to you.
This was the scene here at State Boulevard Extension yesterday. Well, State Boulevard Extension, and also Fireman's Cutoff. Let's just put it all. Yeah, put it all
right there. 22 points come together.
Here's the scene here.
Knocked the paint slap off the hood.
It did. It ain't red no more. And I walked up from the old haircutting place. Traffic was, whoo. Yeah. You'd just be shocked how quickly it takes for that little intersection to fill up when it's stalled there. And they got that cleared as quickly as they could. No major injuries there. I did see somebody that had a neck brace on, bless their heart. The City of Meridian, the City Council, has announced that it's going to be free swimming at any of the city's swimming pools. We put that up yesterday. If you hadn't read that, we got the article there. They passed that yesterday. I didn't realize there was a fee.
I think it's like $2 a day if you were to swim. Maybe it was $3 for the pool, $2 for the splash pad, or $5 for all day.
Which is affordable.
You know, it really is. With the amount of chemicals that it takes, you've got to hire a lifeguard. You've got a lot of upkeep, so a little bit of a cost. I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but I mean, hey, whatever's good for the community.
And I don't know if you know I may be putting you on the spot on this early. I know the National Weather Service came to our area, and I'm not sure they made it to Lauderdale County yet. They did make it to Pelahatchie, and they made it to Clarke County, and without a doubt, we had a tornado as we were tracking this out of Enterprise, making its way toward Lauderdale County. This was rated as a EF1 in Clarke County at 90-mile-an-hour winds. You remember all that power we were showing out? Mm-hmm. Well, there we go.
Yeah, they came into parts yesterday. I think they'll be back today, so hopefully we'll know today if we had one in Lauderdale County.
Here is what we had over in Pelahatchie, Rankin County there. That was also an EF1, 90-mile-an-hour winds. It was the length was 3.25 miles. What was the length on this one? Almost 9 miles, 8.77. Wow. That's why it was so many power poles. And y'all forgive me, I had somebody ask me when we were doing weather one day, why are you looking at this where the power's out? It shows you pretty much spot on where we got damage.
It does. That gives you a path of where this storm goes, and then we're able to go out and follow that path and get a better look of the damage around it.
And it almost always follows what I've got on radar. When we're talking, as it was cutting toward the southeast area, across Mount Horeb Road in that direction there, across there. That southeastern part of the county, even up to Lauderdale, boy, there was trees everywhere.
Man,
Cuba Road,
was. Yeah.
Those guys worked and then worked some more to get that road cleared up.
Yeah, that gas station on 39 across from Toyota,
yes,
that had to be
Man, that was strong.
That was strong. That came through there to do that.
And then the roof there at EMEPA.
Yep,
and right back behind it, some trees. So yeah.
And then Toyota's looking for some new insulation on the walls in the new building. That was all removed. But strangely, just how things work. Jack's, this right there beside it, nothing.
I know.
And we've all seen it in subdivisions. A tornado on the ground levels a house, jumps up, goes to the next house. Why? We don't know.
Yep. Any little old thing. But yeah, it'll take one house and not even disturb a flower plant in a pot on the next door.
I got a statement to say. Anthony Chancellor, I told you so.
What did he tell you?
I was asking him about the tornado when it was all going on. Straight line winds. I said, Anthony, it was a tornado.
There's one of them there tornadoes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, boy.
Anthony, there you go. And a big thank you to Clarke County Sheriff's Department. They were out and about. Here's something. I don't like participating in, like bear hunting, because if you mess up, it will eat you. Here's another sport that's becoming real popular in Mississippi, and it will also eat you.
You're not going to go with me?
No.
Alligator?
Yeah, I ain't alligator. I ain't doing nothing pulling a boat that could eat me.
When you going, Odie?
I don't know. You got to get me a tag.
Next Monday, you can apply to get a tag. Between June 2nd and June 11th, you can apply for this, and the season will kick off, let's see here, August 29th through September the 8th. Shoot him.
All right, so you got a deer 50 yards out, you can take aim and try and get him.
Right, he ain't gonna come eat me.
Well, for an alligator, you can't do that. Alligator, you got to have a rope physically on him, then you can take the gun out.
Well, if nobody's watching, I might not do it that way.
Well, don't get caught, and I promise you they're in the woods.
What was that John Jake book, All Is Fair in Love and War? If you don't eat me. It's like all you people that want to protect the snakes.
You just taking no snake.
I'll be on the shoreline waiting for you to get back.
Just stop. That stuff spooks me. I know Eric Clark likes to play with them in the street and wrestle around with them, but the rest of us don't. Have mercy. We had a rainbow. I thought we would. Emily sent this picture in.
Yeah.
Thank you. There she goes through the sky there. Beautiful picture. I think we had a few more pictures. Look at that one. Lindsay sent us that one. Rainbows are just absolutely gorgeous. I enjoy looking at that. God's little work there. Look, we've got a puppy that has been found out in Zero, and we need to get this little fella home. Let me show this picture here first. It just shows.
Scared with this weather.
Yep, he needs to come home. Here's another picture of him. If you're missing your pup, there he is. We can get you hooked back up with who's got him.
Because he's ready to come home.
We have good news on this when we posted this, and these two fellas were found after we got their picture up.
2 lab. Got him a tennis ball.
And they are. Whose ball is it? We don't know. They're thinking there's a shoe. That's what was going through their head there. But that was good news there to get them back home. We got a spring fling coming up, Odie. I almost let this one slip here.
Downtown DeKalb.
The dynamite city of the South. You got to say that.
That's it. I got to throw that in there, don't we?
So we hope you can attend that.
Oh, it's a petting zoo. They got alligators?
I seriously doubt it.
And, we joke about all this, but you folks that are thinking about running from the law, we want to remind you every time you jump off one of them little deep ditches, there could be an alligator up in there.
Somebody in your comments say they want to get y'all do a show in a boat. If you get your tag, Odie, see if you can talk.
I'll do one, but getting him in a boat, especially if there's an alligator.
Well, the boat's going to rock. I can't swim.
You wouldn't even get into SS Minnow.
Clint said it best. A man has got to know his limitations. I know mine. It does not include flying past tall buildings or alligators. Man, y'all be careful. Learn those. We do have a boil water notice because we had a big water leak in Meridian.
Well, hey, it didn't take but an hour to fix it.
That was the good news.
Yeah.
Because I was calling around, can I come eat? And I was able to. But boil water notice there with that big leak we had there on B Street there. So that's all getting straightened out.
Amy said that she ordered her some food, and she couldn't wait to get her a McDonald's Coca-Cola. said when she got her food in, they brought her a canned Coke. And she goes, "What's up with this?" I said, "They didn't have no water. They couldn't make no Coke."
That's the way you had to handle it there.
Well, so they made it up for it. And she goes, "Oh, well, I'll try again."
We had a little fender bender, what you would call it, down around Mathis Peaches yesterday as we go to take a look here. Here's the Popo there as they arrived, and whoop, Mustang in the bushes. Could have been a lot worse.
Could have been.
So we got that straightened out yesterday. That was also during the debate as we fanned out to go cover those yesterday afternoon. No word back yet. Let me double check here on the
we hadn't got an update on the tree.
That's what I was looking for. Sometimes this photo thing don't work where it recognizes your face or it says it's supposed to. And then try to remember your code. Let's see, it's Face ID. Now I get to punch it in. I don't like this stuff.
Well, it's because you was right on the crack.
Ooh, we just got another tree that is down. This is going to be in, as you're leaving town, just to go up to Big Hill toward the Evangel Temple.
Yeah.
Myrtle, it's on Myrtle Drive.
Myrtle Drive.
What's that subdivision's name? It used to have a name.
Lakemont.
Lakemont.
That's in Ward 5.
Yeah.
Let me get your tree picture up. We got a tree down. So we want you to pay attention. I went through there yesterday looking around, and it was a house that I'm telling y'all it barely missed it. So, and again, we'll go back and correct spelling if I got something wrong with it. We're going to have it up here in just a split second. We'll be right back. We got more coming up with Dustin. A few more stories that's happened between yesterday and today. Remember, voting is coming. It's coming in a hurry next
6
Tuesday.
days. Yeah.
My name is Jimmy Copeland, and I'm your independent candidate for mayor. And this is my wife, Mercy. The June the 3rd general election is quickly approaching. Meridian, we need a mayor that will not make empty promises, but actually focus on public safety, living wage jobs, infrastructure, and economic development. We are of the opinion that we must have a fresh start. If we continue to do what we've always done, we're going to continue to get what we've always gotten.
Vote Copeland for mayor, June 3rd.
Hi, this is Nick at Doc's Toyota, and we are excited to put you in a new Toyota today. We have no dealer markup, no hidden fees, no hassle, and our inventory is always priced to move. Our top-notch sales department and first-class service after the sale guarantees you a fast and comfortable buying experience like you've never had. So come see why month after month, more and more customers have chose to buy from Doc's Toyota. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia at docstoyota.com or on Facebook. And remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
Spring is here. It's time to get your lawn looking its best with Kubota mowers. Parish Tractor's Kubota Z232 KW42 is the perfect mower for a pristine lawn. And now, you can own one with payments as low as $95 a month. Visit Parish Tractor today and take advantage of this amazing offer. 2.99% APR financing now through 6/30/25. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
More than a tractor store.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
And
Welcome
here we
back.
are. Yeah, boy. From New Zealand, Steiny is with us again. Good morning, Steiny. Hope you're having a wonderful day. What time is it in New Zealand?
Time to eat, I'm sure.
Well, it's always time to eat.
Oh, boy, 7:58. Dustin, as we talk about the debates that happen and the doors that you've been knocking on, what is it that as we come to the close this morning, that you want to leave voters with? What is the thing that you want to put out there for them to remember between now and then? Why choose you?
Yeah,
what separates you from the pack that will be better than anyone else?
Well, I hope that people think that I am the best qualified candidate when they go to the polls on June the 3rd for reasons that I've been putting out there. I've done the things before in business and the realtor organization and my church, being in the deacon ministry there. It takes someone that has experience of working with groups of people from all walks of life to try and get on the same page to solve a common goal or work through solving a problem. And that's what I hope they see when they go to vote on June the 3rd. And remember to cast your vote for Dustin Hill. And we've got some strong people stepping up right now. And And if you want to have that change in leadership in our city, this election seems to have a lot of energy around it. You've got a lot of vacant seats on the council. You're going to have a new mayor, so it's important. Right now, Meridian's at a pivotal time. We are on the precipice of having a lot of tax revenue from this data center like we've never seen before. And if we don't get people in leadership that have the credentials to make decisions on how to spend this money and how to solve our problems, we're going to look up 20 years from now and say, well, what happened? We squandered that opportunity. So it's very important to get out June the 3rd, and I'd be honored to have your vote for Ward 5 City Council.
There we go. That's the words there. Speaking of Ward 5, what do we got here? Whoop.
Row.
We got a tree down in your ward.
Yeah, that's Lakemont. No houses in that picture, so that's good.
A good thing.
But right around that corner there, as I looked at one yesterday and had a chance to clean up, it was that much that it missed a house. Just miracles happen there. And believe it or not, right to the right there used to be water there.
Yeah.
Right up until that big leak.
Boy,
that lake
you
is struggling.
just opened a wound up over there for those people. They just, boy, that hurt. But you're right.
It was water there one time. I don't know if they'll ever get it back.
Well, look at that. Now, what do you call this? Is that seeing into the future? Steiny this is 1 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh.
This is already Thursday.
They ahead of time over there.
Oh, yeah. Going back in time.
Rose Hill just sent in a picture.
Oh, man.
Y'all look at Rose Hill, Mississippi. Look at this. Let me.
Wow.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
It looks like a painting.
A Ross painting right there. That's a Bob Ross painting.
Little happy trees is what we've got there.
All right, you need to take that picture, whoever took that, and you need to you need to put your watermark on there. Keep that picture. That's a beautiful.
It is
beautiful.
You just can't get enough good stuff like that. Again, the Meridian Fire Department is still working on the fire there that happened on 44th Avenue and 3rd Street. If you're in that area, we got a little congestion going on there. Let me see if we missed any other big highlights that we needed to bring up this morning. Russell, this is not really all that long off, Odie. June
it's
6th.
just now coming right around the corner.
Spaghetti supper.
Yeah.
And again, this helps raise funds for them with what they've got going on.
Doing a lot over there. I mean, a lot of the things that these fire departments have are purchased by the fire department, and it takes the community coming together and help them raise these funds so that they can get out and help protect your home.
That's a few of the things that happened today. We got any birthdays, anybody?
We do got a few of them. Beverly Henson's got a birthday. Bonnie Nicholas has got a birthday. Nelda Ingram. Barbara Ivy, 67 years young, and Teeny Quinn's got a birthday today. So, happy birthday to everyone celebrating this morning.
I want to bring this up. We had this happen, and it kind of slipped up on Memorial Day. As Meridian, known for the father of country music, well, we had the reflaying event that happened Monday afternoon. It was actually morning, and it kind of happened during the ceremony at the courthouse. We had a few folks show up, pay tribute to Jimmy Rogers there at the cemetery as they laid the wreath there, and we appreciate everybody for taking part of that, of Jimmy Rogers, known worldwide, right out of Meridian, Mississippi, a musical talented town. We have got it without a doubt.
Yes, we do. I mean, look, Jamal winning all the way back to beginning of country music. Rock and roll started right here. And now we look at where we are with Jamal and winner of American Idol. A lot of people in our area, music.
We forgot to say, do you want to say hello to your wife or anything like that for anything future that you may make a mistake on?
He talked to her this morning.
I was giving you the opportunity to make her happy today.
Yeah, well, she just texted me. We had our daughter, our 1-year-old, had tubes put in her ears this morning. So she's on the way back from the hospital right now. But everything went good. So
that's great.
Good deal.
And what's your little baby's name?
Mary Bryant.
Mary Bryant. She's one?
She's one. She just turned one a couple weeks ago, and they make you have so many ear infections within a 6-month period, but we qualified, so it was time to get her some relief, so it went well. So
is this your only child, or you got a bunch of them?
No, we have 5. We have 5.
Why did you stop at 2?
Dude, you're going to be broke. I don't know if anybody's... You're going to be
going to be.
What do you get? Cars in college? Woo, bless you.
No, they're all between 1 and 10 right now, so we hadn't gotten to the cars yet.
Yeah.
God bless his wife.
Christmas is only going to get more expensive.
We can't thank you enough for coming in.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Best of luck next week as we go to vote. Odie, as we depart, what do we got with a Bible verse
Let's
in the
see.
show?
Good Lord's always taking care of us, and He's going to send us to Philippians 1, where it says, verse 9, and this is my prayer, that your love may abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight, so that you may be able to discern what is best and may be pure and blameless for the day of Christ. And that kind of goes to what we're talking about in this area this time for next week. Pray about the upcoming election. Pray that you'll be led to look at what each candidate stands for and who is going to have your best interest, not just today, but in the future. That you leave Meridian better than the way we have found it. This is not for us and our kids, but our grandkids as well. We have to start somewhere. Today is the time, and bringing God into your decision makings daily will lead to better choices all the way around. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thursday's coming, Friday's on this way, and the weekend's near. But until then, remember God's true love for each one of us and our love for you. We love you. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.
Couple of little small things I want to mention there. Somebody wanted to know about an email address. If you'll go to our Facebook page, right there on the left, Scotty Ray 1969 AOL is the email to reach us. Plus, if you haven't gotten the app yet, the Scotty Ray Report app, we just loaded the straw poll. Here it is at the top. And all you have to do is click here. This is on the app. It's free. Doesn't cost anything to download. And several questions where you can vote for city council, cast your ballot, and also for mayor election of Meridian is here on the poll at the top. Let me see if I can get that a little closer.
Hey, please y'all help us out and do this. Only city elections.
Yeah.
You know, if you live in the county like me, I'm not going to go vote because, well, let's get us some good numbers, some good true numbers to see how close we get.
We'll load that on Facebook in just a moment to where it's a link to go to the app. You can learn more about it. Good luck to everybody. Odie?
See y'all tomorrow. Love you.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.